Today we're going to be going over 5 amazing armor skills that you can easily unlock within the first couple hours of the game. While most of these skills are defensively oriented, when used correctly, they can boost your damage quite significantly. With that said, if you have any armor skills that you really enjoy that isn't on this list, share with the community below why you love that skill. First up is an armor set bonus called Master Mounter. It is a skill you gain when you have 3 armor pieces that have this set bonus, and what it does is amplify a certain type of damage called mounting damage. Any aerial attack that you land on a monster is considered mounting damage, and once you deal a certain amount of mounting damage to a monster, you'll be thrown into a minigame where you'll mount the monster and have to avoid being thrown off. While you're doing this, you can produce wounds and ultimately topple the monster, giving you and your fellow hunters a window of opportunity to deal massive damage. With the Master Mounter skill, each aerial attack that you do just deals a bit more mounting damage, which will let you mount more times per hunt, giving you more topples and more wound generation.
Nice.
Depending on the size of the monster, the mounted hunter can create a wound on each spot that they can travel to. To maximize your damage, create wounds on all available spots before popping one to topple the enemy. Doing this not only provides your team with wounds to trigger their own focus strikes, certain weapons benefit greatly from being able to trigger a focus strike before they get into their most damaging rotations. For example, with Insect Glaive and Longswords, you can vomit your damage, proc a focus strike, which will let you bypass having to regain those resources and just vomit even more damage onto the monster. But by doing this, you can also leave certain parts like a monster's head with a wound, and anyone hitting that spot without triggering a focus strike will deal increased damage to that spot. That's not even mentioning that when you're mounting a monster, they're not attacking as aggressively. So your teammates, if you're playing in co-op, get extra time to attack the monster without fear of dying or getting hurt. In the very early stages of your journey, 2 armor sets will carry this set bonus, giving you even more opportunities to mix and match individual armor pieces. The Quematrice and the Balahara armor set both provide points towards this set bonus. Next up is Evade Extender. The skill can go up to a maximum of level 3, and each level increases the distance of your dodge roll or dodge hop. At the maximum level, this increase in distance can be quite significant. A longer distance roll will help you get out of troublesome situations. Longer rolls also help you reposition to deal more damage, especially against a finicky monster that likes to jump around. Evade extenders for some weapon types, like lances and maybe even dual blades, may actually make it harder for you to reposition correctly to deal optimal damage. But with the addition of focus mode in this version of Monster Hunter, I don't see this being as big a problem. Funny enough, both Evade Extender and Mounting Master can be found within some pieces of the Balahara armor set. Honestly, I think this armor set is probably one of the best early game armor sets you can make, and it's not just because it has the 2 skills that we just talked about, but it also possesses the 3rd skill on this list. Plus, it looks pretty cool. Next up is going to be Quick Sheath, an admittedly simple skill with a very huge upside. It is so impactful that certain Monster Hunter games will have this skill within people's endgame builds. It does what it says. Putting away your weapon becomes faster depending on the level. While only 1 piece of Balahara armor gives you Quick Sheath, you'll be able to get more points in Quick Sheath from pieces of the alloy armor set, which only takes a couple of common ores to make. Pair this up with a weapon whose playstyle relies on hit and run or putting away your weapon often like the Greatsword, and then add bonus damaging skills like Critical Draw, which can guarantee critical attacks on an unsheathing attack, and you have a very scary combo. Quick Sheath also impacts the speed in which longswords can go into their special sheath stance, giving the longsword an even faster damage rotation and easier parries with the Spirit Eel Slash. For weapons without the ability to guard, being able to quickly sheath your weapon lets you access your ultra invincible dodge known as the Superman Dive more reliably. To do this, you'll have to be running away from the monster with your weapon sheath and then press the dodge button. For those who are new to Monster Hunter, do not sleep on the Superman Dive. You may not need it right now, but as you approach the harder fights within this game, this one little trick can end up saving your life. It's amazing, and you're invulnerable for the entirety of the leap and even a bit when you're on the ground. For those who like to use weapons that have a blocking mechanic and constantly have their weapon unsheathed, this next skill is for you. But before we continue, support your boy by hitting that like button and subscribe for more Monster Hunter Wilds content. Thanks. Also, if you're looking for a group to play with, join our community squad in the game itself with the squad ID on screen or in the description below. Just like monster mounting, each time you block an attack from a monster, you are filling up an invisible gauge on that monster that, when full, will put you in a minigame called Power Clash. Winning a Power Clash will topple the enemy and let you follow up with a powerful strike. With the set bonus of Powerhouse 1 and Powerhouse 2 that comes from equipping either 2 pieces or 4 pieces of the doshaguma armor set, you'll either get 10 extra attack from winning a Power Clash for a limited time, or 25 extra attack instead. If you block a lot, you're guaranteed at least 1 or 2 Power Clashes per fight, and in the early parts of the game, 10 extra damage can go quite a long way. This effect will also trigger from an offset attack. If you are a parry simp, I can see you triggering this all the time. Another nice bonus to the doshaguma armor set stems from the fact that it has skills that make item consumption more efficient with item prolonger or even free with free meals. The free meal is not guaranteed, but the chance of you activating this increases with each level. A lot of items that are very beneficial, especially early on, are impacted by free meals. Potions, mega potions, demon drugs, armor skins, rations, herbs, you name it, if it goes in your mouth, it could be free. This armor set has another 3-piece set bonus called Fortifying Pelt, which increases your attack and defense after fainting during a quest. Most of the time, it's gonna be inactive, but hey, if you ever get carded, I now understand that you intentionally did so you'd hit harder. That's pretty Giga Brain. Now that I'm thinking about it, if you take anything away from this video, more evasive players will find an amazing starter set in the Balahara set, while more tanky in-your-face players will benefit from the doshaguma armor set. Or you can mix and match both and have maybe like 2-piece doshaguma for powerhouse, and 3 pieces of the balahara that have the evade extender skills attached to them that will also give you the mounting master 3-piece set bonus. And lastly, one of my favorite skills in Monster Hunter, just because it's so anime. And that skill comes from the Raidal's armor set and is known as Latent Power. What it does is that after a period of time or a specific condition is met, you'll gain affinity and stamina depletion reduction based on the amount of skill points invested for a period of time. At level 1, which is all you really need for this skill, you'll gain 10% in affinity and 30% stamina depletion reduction. The condition for activating Latent Power can be met in several ways. One is by being alive in a hunt for a period of time, and that timer can be reduced by dealing damage to a monster. Alternatively, if you take a certain amount of damage, Latent Power will also activate, giving you that extra oomph to try to make a comeback against an almost impossible situation. Once activated, you'll be in this mode for about 2 minutes unless that timer has changed from previous games, and it can be extended by Raidal's armor set bonus. I honestly love this skill, but for the early parts of the game, I would not recommend stacking this skill at all. 1 point into the skill, however, can provide quite a significant impact to your damage potential, especially for weapon types like dual blades that have a mode or stance that actively drains their stamina as they are using it. If you prefer a skill that is a bit more stable, several pieces of the Ajarakan armor set has an absurdly powerful skill attached to it called Part Breaker. Part Breaker not only makes it easier to destroy monster parts like breaking horns or severing tails, but new to Wilds, it's a percentage damage increase for a period of time when you use a focused strike. With how often focus strikes are used when fighting any large monster, you'll be able to keep this damage increase active for quite a while. At level 3, Part Breaker grants a whopping 30% damage increase. That is pretty freaking good. And there you have it, 5 early game armor skills that are very powerful for any hunter new or experienced. If you're looking forward to more build crafting videos, hit that subscribe button. And if you're interested in learning more about the many mechanical nuances within Monster Hunter Wilds, check out this video on screen right now. My name is Varsana, and I'll see you in the next video.